What's going on, people, and welcome back to Totalozspurs. Before we get into it, guys, make sure you are liking and subscribing to the channel and hit that bell button for all future notifications. And comment down below what your thoughts are on the game against United. So, if you don't know, if you're living under a rock, Tottenham 2, United 0. And what a game. What a good first home game of the season. And just first in charge in front of a proper home crowd. And might I say, that was an absolutely amazing atmosphere that I could feel even through the screen. Watching the game, the fans were amazing, loud, and creating a sort of atmosphere that I haven't seen at Tottenham for a while. Talking to my family back home, seems like everyone is buzzing about the way we're playing now. Evident in the last two games, the amount of shots that we've had now, over 15 shots per game, over 500 passes in both games, with a fairly high pass accuracy rate too, and a lot of those passes are going forward, not back. But back to the fans, the way they encouraged the team, the way they stuck by the team, the way they serenaded the team at the end, the way they serenaded Ange at the end. It was beautiful to see, and we may be getting our club back slowly through the football. Obviously, with the chairman, things will have to change in that regard. He needs to go. But when it comes to the football, I think we have our man, guys. I'm going to start off with a bit of Ange love. The guys come in 5 or 6 weeks, completely changed, revolutionized the way that we play. Finally put Basuma in a system that suits him, and he is thriving. I don't understand how people. I understand that people can back Conte because of his history, but we've only added 3 or 4 players to this team, and it's a completely different outfit. I just think that to suit their system, they need different kinds of players, and Levy wasn't willing to go for those players. But he knows with Ange, he does have a coach that can work with what he's also got. So I think that's what Ange is doing right now, and it goes to show in the way we're playing at the moment. Start off at the back. Big Vic should have faced the penalty, in my thoughts. When you think about the rules and how they work now, it should have been a penalty. However, he made some really good saves. The Casemiro header was one of them. Quick reactions, palmed the ball. He was very strong, very agile. He had a good game. And I'm not going to sit here and say, the Vic outers have been shamed and he's proven himself. It's only one game. I want to see 10 to 15 performances like this throughout the season minimum, where he's saving everything, he's putting in a performance. But give props where it's due. Big Vic in the goal was great. For me, maybe 1 or 2 slight shaky moments, but he was strong, agile, dealt with everything that got thrown at him. And if it wasn't for United being so poor, he may have conceded a couple of goals, especially the Bruno Fernandes header. But apart from that, he did amazing. Go to our back 2 centre halves, and Romero is a different player when Van de Ven's next to him. He's calm, collected. Another great performance. Not one yellow card, or not one card in the whole game between the two of them. I think maybe Van de Ven got one towards the end. But Romero just seems so calm and collected. He trusts Van de Ven. He doesn't have to come out and smash people, because he doesn't have to be pragmatic with his defending to try and make sure that the ball doesn't get past him. And Van de Ven, he's slotted straight in to the team. He utilizes his pace a lot. He's very good with his timing, with his tackles. He'll jockey, and then when the moment comes, he'll steal the ball. And it's a good signing, good young signing, tall, quick. Rashford couldn't get past him. He dealt with everything that came at him. Maybe the Bruno Fernandes header, the line still wasn't in cohesion, but overall, good game by Mickey Van de Ven. Going to the right, Pedro Porro. I did criticise him in the first half. I felt like he was giving way too much room for Garnacho. However, Garnacho didn't really do much with it. Maybe he knew that Garnacho wasn't that great of a player, that he could give him that space. But towards second half, Porro was immense defending. He actually showed a good defensive game, especially in that second half. And, props to him working on the system. He looked good in it. I do think him and Royale will still fight out for that spot. I would like him to play further up to provide more creative chances for our strikers. But, overall, decent game from Porro. And we'll go back to a Doji. This guy's made for the Premier League. He's one of those players where you sit there and go, oh, then they've played overseas. Then the Premier League's a different bit of gravy. And this kid's gravy. He didn't have a stellar game, but physically, defensively, he was good. And Anthony did nothing apart from his one cut in and had a pop that he hit the post with. Apart from that, Anthony did nothing the whole game, and he provides that width for Son to go around him or go inside him. Goes towards the byline, likes to cross it in. He is he's going to be a baller when he's older, when he's more mature, when he's finally got a couple of more years under his belt. He's going to be a big player for Tottenham, and I hope we keep him, because I don't want us to be the stepping stone for him to go to the likes of Real Madrid, Juventus or anything like that, because I feel like he really, really will be a top player. And before we go into the midfield, because that's I'll go to the forwards next, but I will say that United did fairly well the first 30 minutes of the game. They dominated pretty much the whole game. We were quite nervy going into it. They should have had a couple of goals. However, some lucky moments and some good saves by Vicario kind of stopped them. And I will give a shout out to Dean, one of our friends here in Australia who is a United fan. First time on the show. First time we've ever had an opposition fan on the show. And he did a great job. And I hope he comes back on again. It was good to have a different insight into the game, and it was good to ask questions where I wouldn't usually ask those questions, because it wouldn't be a question that we need to ask for Tottenham fans. So big up to Dean again. But going to the forwards, very poor for majority of the game in terms of the overall of the forwards. We'll go on Richarlison, pretty much next to nothing. Didn't really have much to feed off, but his movement, it was non-existent. Pressing was quite lacking. The couple of touches they did have, he did a couple of good ball controls, but overall he's just not getting in the positions to score goals for me. And that's a big problem with a team that needs to replace a 30-goal striker, a goal per season striker. And I'm not saying that we have to, score those 30 goals within the team, but we need our front three all scoring at least 10 goals this season if we want to get back up into the top 4 race. Do think we'll get top 6 this season. Kulu was quite poor the first half, but the second half came out, started going onto his right a bit more, and his right actually caused the first goal for our golden boy. And I feel like he needs to start doing that. Everyone knows he comes in on his left, and he's very telegraphed with it. He does need to try and drift out onto that right foot every now and then to try and change his game a little bit. But second half was much better. I think Ange got up him. But it was very poor the first half. Didn't really provide anything. And the same could be said for Son. I feel like Son was the better of the front three. Second half was quite a bit more agile and definitely, looked the part when he was in that striker role. He was coming a bit shorter, a bit more, providing the 1-2 touches, which is what I want to see. Because Son, if Son's got that pace where he can 1-2 touch it over the top and chase it down and score a goal. So. It's encouraging signs from Sonny. Do feel like he didn't do much the first game against Brentford. This game, did a bit more, but I want to see that progression. I don't want to see last season where he's just probably the worst player on the pitch for majority of the games, but still plays. Just because he's club captain doesn't mean he deserves to play every week. It is what it is and those kind of things. But the midfield, now these guys, I want to say it, like, even though I love Bentancur, like, this could be our midfield three for the season. They were immense. The transitions between Sarr and Basuma, where if one would make a run, the other one would just sit back, and then the other one would drop back, and the one that sat back would push forward. The ball control from Basuma, like, that was Dembele-esque. I mean, that's how, like, the way he controlled that ball, the confidence, he was oozing confidence the whole game. Um, you know, his runs, and he was getting frustrated because we weren't creating chances, because he wanted the ball early, or he was pushing the team up the pitch and nothing was coming over it, and he was getting frustrated. And that's what I want to see. I want to see a player that's striving that to the best of his ability, and wanting everyone else to do the same. And I can't believe Conte stifled him so much. I just don't understand why. We couldn't play some form of formation where we had three in the middle with Basuma playing the way he is right now. We would have gotten another, I honestly think, 10 to 12 points last season, and that could have taken us close to top four with the way the games pan out, depending on which games we won and lost. And I mean, he was immense, and he's just, for me, it's two man of the matches in a row. Even though Madison people were voting for Madison last week because of the 2 assists, I think Basuma's been our best player so far. Obviously, it's only 2 games in, so it's a bit early to call that. But for me, he was a beast. And then you go to Madison once again, orchestrating the attack, pinging balls left to right. Did a beautiful ball to Perisic that led to the second goal. Pinging the ball around, one on the ball feet, the little dribbles that he has. It's just unfortunate that he hasn't had any chances to pop off a shot. Hopefully, the next few games he does, because we are playing poorer opposition than we did yesterday. Madison is life to Tottenham has started very well, and we knew we were going to get this kind of player in him anyway. And that's why we're all screaming for him for the last 2 seasons. It's just, thank God we got him, because fucking hell, he is a player. And it comes last to our star boy, Mr. Star Boy. He was like Basuma. He was everywhere. He was making runs. He was driving. He was cutting off passes. He was feeding. And what I love about his passes, especially when he transitions it out wide, he gives it a curve, a little bit of a whip, where he hits it hard, he swerves it into the path of the winger, but he hits it with a bit of pace, so the ball gets there quicker. And his movement for his goal, where he fed it out wide and then just run straight through the middle. Mount was tracking him, and I will say, if anybody says Mason Mount's a great player, I'm sorry. He was the reason Sarr scored that goal. He did not track his man. Sarr comes flying in as the number 6 role that we have, where they can't go and get into the box. He played it perfectly, took his goal very, very well. So happy for him for his first goal for Tottenham. He deserves it. And, I mean, I wouldn't drop him for next week. Honestly, I think he suited that role very, very well. Did a lot better than Skippy did. Bentancur is going to have some work to do if he wants to come back into this team. And, midfield, any one of our 3 midfielders could have got man of the match. Going on to the subs, I felt like the subs were a lot quicker this game. Ange did him a lot sooner. Højbjerg came in, looked controlled, had a bit of that turn on the way he turned. I think it was Sancho on the sideline. Fuck it, where did that come from? The agileness of Højbjerg, where did that come from? Honestly, all his subs made sense. Pulled Richarlison off, put Perisic on. Perisic, we look way more dangerous with Perisic on that left. He was taking on Wan-Bissaka, turning him inside and out, putting in beautiful balls, putting in that great ball that Ben Davies scuffed, but turned into be an own goal anyway. For me, Perisic, if Richarlison isn't doing it the next couple of games, because we do have weaker opposition the next 3 games or 4. I think we have the Fulham Cup in there as well. I think we have like Burnley, Bournemouth, and Sheffield or something the next 3 games in the Prem. If he doesn't do anything in those 3 or 4 games, I'd drop him as Son through the middle and Perisic on that left. Perisic has provided good service, good crossing, great chances and opportunities for the team. And I'm happy to see him play. And he looks like he's happy to be here. Work rate was a lot higher. This game was chasing down, was tackling. It makes a change when a player suits the system. bit like the Sumer. The other note, Solomon and Royal came on a bit late. Didn't really get to do much. Not much in there for him. And our last sub, I'm pretty sure it was Ben Davies, and got in the box like a Doji was doing. Did quite well. Looked quite lively when he came on. Obviously scuffed the shot, but there was enough to put Martinez off, and he scored an own goal. And then finally the manager, and I love this man. I didn't realize how much of the infection of his grandeur was, because I knew about him being in Australia. Was a good coach for the Socceroos. Hear a bit about him, in Celtic. Never really watched them play, so I never knew. Even the Socceroos, I don't watch them play. You don't watch. I like watching quality football, and the Socceroos just not at that level. And seeing his system and the way it works and the transition, and even though it was quite frustrating at Brentford because they had 11 behind the ball, when we had a team that wanted to play against us, this system went toe to toe, and my God, has he changed this club's mentality around in terms of the way we view our players, and the way we view our play style. He's created a beautiful play style for us to actually attack teams. I'm super excited for the next few games. I feel like he's going to really get us going. Once we're in full flight and everybody's clicking, I'll be worried for most of the teams. He's got a great midfield. He's sorting out the defense slowly, and he just needs to tweak the attack. And I think we can really take it to these teams, push for that top 6, and battle for that fourth spot. And the reception he got from the fans shows what he's doing, and the way he conducts himself, the way he talks to the players, and he seems like a good man manager, and the players want to play for him. So, Big Ange, please keep doing what you're doing. I'm not expecting you to bring us a trophy, because you've had many managers before that haven't done that should have. But thank you for slowly bringing our Tottenham back. But that's it from me, guys. Comment down below how you feel about my analysis. We will be doing a review for the game on the weekend, and I've got to double check what team it is. Pretty sure it's Bournemouth. Next game. Sorry, guys, a bit underprepared. It is Bournemouth on 9:30 on Saturday night, so there will be a live watch along, guys. Make sure you're there and joining us live, giving us all your thoughts and your feelings. And yeah, like I said, we're going to keep reiterating the EAFC stuff. We're playing clubs or pro clubs. So if you are a FIFA player and you enjoy our content, please watch out for us in the near future. We will be putting up content for that as well, and we'd be happy for everyone to join. If you are a rival fan and your team is coming up to play us soon, please message us on our socials if you would like to join on our live watch along. I'm going to start trying getting opposition fans on those lives. Better interaction, better questions, better banter. You name it, we're going to try and give it. So make sure you like and subscribe to the channel, guys. Stay safe, take it easy, and as always, stay Spurs.